Hello. Gonna continue more of the MSQ. Welcome back, and may I congratulate you on Wiklamat's victory in the Rites of Succession. It's a great honor to host the comrades of our future Dawn Servant. Such a grand journey has doubtless left you fatigued. Please relax and enjoy your stay. Surprised to see me? I suppose it's only natural. May I come in? I haven't properly thanked you. That my sister was able to realize her potential is a testament to the quality of her traveling companions, particularly you. For that, you have my heartfelt gratitude. My primary business in calling is to deliver a message from Lamati. As you well know, after this ascension ceremony, she will officially take up the mantle of Dawn Servant. She has expressed a desire for you to accept a post within her administration, while making no mention of me. You need to decide immediately. My sister will broach the matter with you again after the ceremony. Whether you continue to assist Lamati or not is up to you. That is all, if you excuse me. You have become someone irreplaceable to her. As her brother, I acknowledge that with no little jealousy. But believe me when I say that I hope you will stay by her side. And thus it arrived. The day of the Dawn Servant Ascension Ceremony.
What a crowd! As befits the changing of Dawn Servants.
It's starting.
The Dawn Servant!
Look! He's here!
The head of reason is resting again. Thought he'd grace us for this occasion at least.
People of Tuliolal, you honor us with your presence. For on this auspicious day, we witness the dusking of one era and the dawning of the next. The succession of Dawn servants. But I've talked for long enough. Allow me to present the claimant, whose determination, wisdom, and compassion guided them to triumph and the city of gold. My daughter, Wuk-Lamat. Huzzah! Huzzah!
Long live the Dawn Servant! Long live Tuliolal!
Growing up in this city, I used to think I knew all there was to know about Tuliolal. But my journey showed me how much I had yet to learn about the cultures, histories, and aspirations of this nation. Through the time-honored Ihana, the Hanuhanu taught me how they nourish and cultivate both the land and their bonds with visitors. And with their alpacas and tradecraft, the Pelupelu showed me the depths of their patience and fortitude, to know when to push through and when not to push your luck. From the Moblins and their artisans, I gained insight into the power of creativity, that it is when we are filled with passion and bolstered by the support of others that we produce our best works. And in Kozamauka, I was moved by the history and hopes of the Yokhui, who believe that death isn't the end, that we live on so long as we remembered. I felt joy and harmony in Yaktel when I tasted Shebruk Bibil, the dish that marked the beginning of peace between the Shebral and Mamurja after centuries of warfare. And I felt sorrow in Mamuk when I met with those who placed their faith in the promise of blessed siblings, and for this were burdened with great suffering. Through the understanding we forged, I'm hopeful that they will find what they seek through friendship and community, for we are all Turali.
Understanding with Mamuk? What sorcery did she use on them?
All of which is to say that, as I've come to know our nation, I've seen the ways in which we thrive and the ways in which we still struggle. Some in Kozamauka must resort to banditry to survive. A faction of Yokhui still cling to dreams of conquest. Not everyone lives in peace and plenty. And there's still so much of Tulihyolol I don't know. Places I haven't seen, and people I haven't met. That's why I hope to keep learning about and from you, that we might build a nation where everyone knows happiness. Because if there's one thing my journey has taught me, it's that your happiness is my happiness!
Oh! This is a different version of the track.
I say mine, but the Dawn Servant doesn't need to be a single person, does it?
Oh dear. What is she doing?
Yeah. My father led Tulihyolol to prosperity by the resolve and reason of his 2 heads. But my one head can only get us so far. To further change our nation for the better, I'll need someone else. Someone with the knowledge and insight that I lack. So what do you say? Be Dawn Servant with me, Kona?
Ah,
Mamachi, are you certain?
Absolutely. You take reason, and I take resolve. Together, we make a full Dawn Servant.
You'll have no objections from me, of course. But mine is not the approval you need.
During my time abroad, I experienced the benefits of foreign technologies, some of which I introduced to our nation. Dirigibles now soar the sky in the south, while locomotives traverse the land in the north. I was convinced that by imitating foreign powers, we could assert our strength and thereby deter invasion. Yet despite my intentions, I failed to understand what I was too eager to cast aside, and the very people I wish to protect. My own journey has taught me that culture isn't a hindrance to progress, but a shared value that binds us, connecting lives and generations. With your blessing, I vow to help Tulihyolol prosper in a way that honors the hopes and heritage of all her peoples. My esteemed predecessor would accept nothing less. for ultimately. I harbor the same wish as my sister. To give you cause to smile. That is my heartfelt desire.
Glad this didn't go to waste. This is the Lay of Legacy, the part of the Tulihyola saga where you and I become the next Dawn servant.
Good heavens! Don't tell me this is what kept you so busy ahead of the ceremony.
Just so you know, I didn't decide this on a whim. After reflecting on all we've been through, I realized it was the only answer.
With this, both my brother and I have worthy successors. He would have been proud. Of course you knew.
Dead.
It's been 3 years since my brother left us.
It cannot be. The head of reason is no longer with us.
Oh, tragic tidings.
I didn't want to believe it.
I'm sorry I never told you. We wanted the people to rest easy until our successor could be chosen. Planning the right was my brother's final duty. He was determined for it to serve the nation's best interests, and labored nigh without cease. And then he died, forcing me to do the actual work. A sneaky bastard. But he did well. I have to give him that. The outcome speaks for itself. Though not quite to the original script, your new Dawn servant rises. May they shine resplendent, and their rule bring light ever greater to Tuliolo.
Oh. There we go. Wooklamat was brilliant up there, wasn't she? The part with the second promise was surprising, but between the two of them, I dare say our new Dawn servants will be capable of anything. The future of Tholiol is bright indeed. Hey Google, turn on computer light.
Changes in the air, and it's all because of our little firebrand. Every Ilmer father's daughter, that one. I'll be watching where you steer this nation, lass. With what time I've got left.
What? Woklamat has truly come into her own, has she not? Indeed. Even as she moved the people with her heartfelt words, she retained her characteristic spontaneity, as evidenced by her nomination of Kono as a fellow Dawn servant. As sudden as it was, I would like to believe she gave it all due consideration. She could do far worse. Kono completed every feat except the last, and that he only forfeited to help Woklamat secure victory. I look forward to seeing how Tuliol will prosper under their care. Everyone, thank you for coming. I could see you all perfectly from up there. That was an impressive speech, Dawn Servant. I told you no titles. Besides, everything we've been through together, we're nothing less than family. So, like my family does, I'd like you to call me Lamatia. Try to pronounce it correctly, so I can't. Oh, don't you worry about that. However you say it, I know it to be with love. If we do mispronounce it, please correct us, but it would be my honor to call you Amati. Lamatiai? Mine as well. Indeed. Consider us your Eorzean cousins, if such a notion appeals to you. Eorzean cousins? It's a little embarrassing, but not in a bad way. There's still lots I'd like to say, but I need to make my rounds first. I want to thank my supporters who are visiting for the occasion. Could you wait for me there? Of course, we'll keep ourselves entertained. That said, would you join me, Nima? Wonderful. Come and meet me outside the Winged Walk, then. Ow. Ready? Let's go. Our first stop is Aunt T's Tacos. Not just for a snack, I promise. Wook, Evu, and Mablu should be there. Dawn servant, Wuklamat. Words cannot express the profound joy your ascensions brought me. No need for formalities. I'm still the same old me. Alright then, I shall forego the formalities. Ah, but I cannot. You're a Dawn servant. Too disrespectful it is to address you without your due title. As Dawn servant, I'm ordering you not to bother with formalities. Alright then, I won't bother anymore. I could be more easily converse with the drunken alpaca. Thank you for helping Wuklamat become Dawn servant, Nima. Political opinions in our community may have been divided, but Dawn servant's ascension presents us all with the prime opportunity, which is why I convinced everyone to participate in the commemorative sales campaign. A wonderful plan, no? My first big undertaking as a merchant. I do like the sound of the sale, so long as I'm not persuaded to buy too much. It's good to see all of you again. I wanted to personally thank you for each of you for your help. The feat of reeds and the feat of gold were my first true tests as a claimant. If not for your guidance, I would have failed the right of succession before I finally fully understood its importance. Now that you've given me a taste of celebrating culture, I can't wait to see what else Dawntrail has to offer. In Dawntrail, for instance. As always, you must observe proper etiquette. I'd be happy to offer my services as a tutor, should you desire. I can think of no better instructor. I'll be sure to bring Kona as well. Your duties as Dawn servant will be plentiful. Don't forget your promise to attend Ihihana's next season. Of course, I wouldn't miss it. When I've made a name for myself as merchant, I'll come by the place and tell you all about my biggest sales. Hehe, I look forward to it. I have been personally attending to your alpaca's care. Dare we hope to see you at the ranch again? Hehe, my fluffy, spit-filled friend at Wuklamat will visit soon. Anyway, you'll have to excuse us. Oh, you haven't seen Forgentine around here, have you? A tall, slim fellow with long, pointy ears? I saw a man matching that description by the weapons dealer in Bayside Bevy, in a company of mobbing and a pair of yokoi, if I remember correctly. Bayside bevy, got it. Enjoy the festivities, everyone, and the tacos. Workla, Dawn Servant, Nima, you honor us with your presence. Thank you for coming, everyone. I know the journey to Tuliyollal, Tuliyollal isn't a short one. A long road, worth the travel to congratulate new Dawn Servants. To hear the head of reason has passed brings me sorrow, but we who remember him will ensure he lives on. May the accolades of this day be as offerings to the future he envisioned. The High Lumery I will attend on behalf of Warlord's Echo. Had our people come en masse, we would have been an obstruction. Nonsense. You're always welcome. All of you. This is your city as much as anyone's. I'm glad to see you hale and whole, Nima. Though I know little of the particulars, I can only imagine your latest adventure has been both long and colourful. Beginning with the near shipwreck, if you remember, yet we stand celebrating the ascension of your claimant. When my journey began, I thought of only preserving the peace that my father worked so hard to create. But the fear of pots, the fear of proof, and the feat of ice shows me that peace is simply not the absence of war. Being able to live together in safety and happiness, that was what my father envisioned for this nation. That's the Tuliyollal I want for you all. So I promise you this, as Dawn Servant, I will do everything I can to bring that same happiness to the bandits in Kozamakuka and the Yokhoi of Chiwago Sultan. I won't forsake them. As I was moved by your father's influence, so too may the Chiwago come to accept your peace. Their beliefs have stood for a millennium. While not easily shifted, neither are they immutable. Are they immutable? Well, I can be pretty determined. They'll come round eventually, mark my words. I can vouch for the efficacy of such determination. Thanks to the Moblin's hospitality, I've been able to rediscover the joy of my craft and honour my father's legacy. Now that good living is secure, the village overflows with field smiles. Such cooperation between help hands and potsworn is the very spirit of a healthy pop pact. A partnership like yours is bound to be fruitful. I look forward to seeing the fantastic pieces you produce. There are other people I'd like to see, so we should take our leave. Let's try and find Hanmu Rook. The Spraxrak. I believe I saw him on the sands below. The Gleam Sands, thank you. Enjoy your time in the city, and remember, this will always be your home too. My, your honor was with your personal visit, Dawn Servant. Congratulations upon your ascension. No, none of that. My title may have changed, but I'm still just Wooklamat. More than just, I'd say. You have grown into a leader fit for this nation. Your father must be proud. I hope so. But big events like this make me wonder, you know, what my birth parents might say if they knew. I imagine they would say that it fills their hearts with joy to see the strong, compassionate woman you have become. I owe you my thanks as well for fulfilling your promise to me. I told Bakul Jada to stay with us so we could all congratulate you in person, but he marched off muttering something about not being able to face you just yet. The boy needs purpose. Purpose beyond catering to the demands of others. He was always too obliging. Of course, obliging for his own good. I'm sure he'll find it in his own time, especially if he knows his family is there for him. That we are. By the way, have you seen the Ketin Ram anywhere? Tanqua, that is. Ketin Ram, was it? A strong name, if a bit exotic. We called upon him before leaving Mamuk, but he wasn't at home. I don't recall seeing him at the ceremony either. The first promise was notably absent as well, though I assumed he required time to save his injured pride. Everyone thought he'd be the one to succeed Papa. My victory must have come as quite a shock to him. As for Tanqua, I'm sure he's around here somewhere, or ready to appear when we least expect him. We'd best be going. Better relax, enjoy, and make yourselves at home, and come visit any time. Alright, I think I found everyone I could find. Let's return to the others in the winged walk. Welcome back. I hope you didn't rush on our account.
Seen everyone you wanted to see?
I have. Sorry for keeping you all. Now, there's just one last matter. What Kona spoke to you about. I'm sure he made it abundantly clear, but I'm completely serious. I want you to stay in Tulihola with me. I'm not forcing you, of course, but should you wish it, you always have a place here. Ah, that's right. This is for you. A permit granting passage to Shaktural, which, as I recall, you've yet to see. An adventurer like you could hardly resist, no? can't believe our journey is over already. You accepted me as a comrade and stood with me to the end. You have my eternal gratitude. Thank you. Well, I had better get going. I need to start learning all my official Dawn servant duties. I'll be sure to share what my old man says about the Golden City too, once he tells me. Till then, feel free to pass the time as you like.
For now, I will remain in Tural. There's someone I'd like to see before returning to Sharlayan.
What about the rest of you?
Alize and I also intend to remain a while longer. As educational as this experience has been thus far, we feel there are even more lessons to be had for Garlemald. By hearing about the peace your father facilitated, and then seeing you reforge relations with Mamuk, we were reminded of a profound truth. That is, acceptance begins with understanding.
And, like you demonstrated throughout the rite, there are unexpected yet effective ways for two sides to understand each other. The question is how to encourage it, and by seeing more of this nation born of unity, we hope to find some hints.
Personally, I can hardly wait to learn more about the City of Gold. So, if I may, I'd like to stay in Tuluyolal as well.
By all means, your rooms are at your disposal for as long as you need them.
And what of you? Thinking of touring Shaktural, perhaps?
That's the plan.
Of course. You're hardly the type to leave half a continent unexplored.
Then perhaps we could travel together? The person I intend to meet is my mentor, so I'll be visiting my hometown in Shaktural. If you have no particular destination in mind, I'd be happy to guide you en route.
Then it's farewell for now. Take care, all of you.
When you're ready, come and meet me at the Shaktural Skygate.
We're friends to the end, you hear me? Friends to the end!
Past these gates and over the bridge lies Toral. You have your permit, yes? Packed and ready. No last minute stops to make before we leave. Forgive me. I'm afraid traveling with our new Dawn servant may have scarred me for life. Meanwhile, in the depths of the Sky Deep Sea Note. This is the gate to the Golden City. 2 decades ago, your father bade me transcribe a letter to a scholar across the salt. Whoa. What he discovered was something the Dawn Servant feared enough to seal away forever. Or so we thought, until the right objective became the City of Gold. But to think that Tanqua was being trusted with its safekeeping. Had I known that that doddering old fool carried a set of keystones, we might have spared ourselves those tiresome feats. Great power sleeps here, and with it you shall obtain your birthright. So you say, yet the new Dawn Servant succeeded where I could not. Taking their throne will be no easy task. The resilient son underestimates his own potential. There's no need for worry. I have liberated the key from the Dawn Servant's vault. You alone have the means to unlock the gate. You will gain all you were denied, the right, your father's shade. These bitter memories shall soon be forgotten. Seize your future, promise. Open the gate and become the ruler you were destined to be. It's working. Is someone there? Can you hear me? At last. Who's there? Show yourself. If only I could. Alas, this gate will not open for me. Only the key in your possession can connect us. Then, you are the guardian of the city's great power? I do not claim this power is great, but the knowledge I possess is enough to realize any desire to remake worlds. Is that so? Fascinating. Name your price then. My desire is the world itself. Yes, yes. The resilient sun rises. Together we shall create a nation worthy of our rule. Yeah, betrayal. Promise. Why? The useless tool lights cast aside. Deliver me a new world, one that bends to my will. As you wish, but in exchange. But in exchange what? Ready to get underway? Then present your travel pass to that guard, and let us be off. You won't have to wait long to enjoy sightseeing. The bridge to Dawntrail is a wonder in its own right. Yay! The gate is barred to all those save with express permission. One of the Dawn servants. Signed by Val Wooklamat herself. My apologies, miss. If you would wait here just a moment.
Shall we then?
Yes, let's shall.
On the far side of that great bridge unfolded the wilds of Shaloni, where the sun guides in the Shatonaton. A harsh guide, to be sure, with its blazing rays scorching the land and hardening its inhabitants. But sweeping change had come to the arid expanse when, beneath its red crust, vast deposits of ceruleum were discovered. Embracing this opportunity, Vau Kona supporters hurtle on, driven by dreams of a future illuminated by blue flame.
Doesn't ceruleum power the magic
that our
tech?
journey continues, our path taking us along wending roads of steel. Each length of track a declaration of hope and ambition.
Shaloni.
My home, Yasulani, lies past Shaloni. It will be a long journey, but the railroad should make it easier. As for the way to the train station, let's ride these fellows, shall we?
Shot on Ronique. Great soul. If one else survives, I have a creature right here in waiting. But if you need to, then you'll have to wait. The Ronique have been acting strangely of late. More easily spooked and otherwise disagreeable. Picking out a few fit for renting is proving bothersome work. They're usually so docile. The ones I saw earlier didn't appear to be unhealthy either. But much has changed since I was last here. Not the best start of a journey. The train station isn't far, seeing as we aren't in a hurry. Let's go on foot. About that, sir. As well travelled as you look, it's not only the Ronique that have been giving us trouble. Other wildlife has shown signs of aggression too. The merchants should be returning soon with one of our beasts. Stick around till they do, and I'll see you both on Ronique for a safer trip. Your offer's most appreciated, but I don't think my friend here is particularly concerned about wildlife. Actually, I'm maybe a little concerned. As well you should. Glad to see one of you's got some sense. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Right. Change your plans. There's a small town nearby. You can pass the time while waiting there. Take it you're heading to Wasali, then. I'll have a man bring the Ronique over there. Just mind yourself around the drunkards and troublemakers, eh? Aether current. Ah, they got me. Last time I was here, it was little more than a camp of a shop or three.
Well, well. It's become a proper town.
Now hold on a minute.
Some sort of trouble.
I'm talking to you, you old bastard.
Give me strength. For the last time, the investigation is closed. There's no refuting the evidence.
I don't give a shit about your evidence, you lying scum. You release my friends, or I'll make you wish you had.
Let me remind you who the scum is here. Your friends, who had the temerity to point their firearms at me, the Deputy Chief of the Dust Watch. And after taking them into custody, what should we discover but incontrovertible proof that they had committed larceny? They will not be released until they've paid for their crimes.
I'd heard the peacekeeping force had been formed to deal with growing lawlessness. Seems the situation is bad indeed.
Still can't get up a fuss, eh? Sounds like poor Zekua needs his bottle.
Sure he wouldn't prefer his mama's teat? Treat me like a child, will you? My friends haven't done anything wrong, damn it! They've been framed!
Oh, stubborn little runt. Listen here, Zekua. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you'd best comport yourself like one. That means respecting the rule of law. Order may be precarious here in Shaloni, but it can be had if each man does the right thing. And for those that don't, well, they have to answer to the Dust Watch. Now run along and think before you cast aspersions next time. Lest you hurt my feelings.
Fine. If that's how it's gonna be.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Is that?
There's a time to fight and a time to
Estinian.
withdraw. For you, that's now.
What?
Hey!
What are you doing, Zekua? You better not be stirring up trouble.
Wahute, you sack of Ronek shit! This ain't over! You hear me?
You want to tell me what that was about?
Nothing that need concern you, sir. Zekua is simply struggling to come to terms with the low character of his friends. But for good measure, I'll have the men keep an eye on him.
Yes, you do that.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go make my rounds.
I wasn't expecting to see your faces among the crowd. Talk is rife there's a new Dawn servant. Take it you found it then. The Golden City.
Aye, the contest is over. And as I needed to return home to Yasulani, I offered to show our friends some of Shaktural. What brings you north?
Nothing in particular. Just seeing what there is to see.
Going wherever the wind blows, eh?
Gulul Jaja compensated me rather generously for our duel. I'll be able to enjoy a comfortable life on the road for the foreseeable future. But for now, I shall be moving on. Oh, by the way, I recommend you try the Sabatender. They may not look it, but they're surprisingly delicious.
But we don't serve Sabotender here.
You and your riddles. Justinian! No sooner do we set out than we run into excitement. At least no one was hurt. This Dust Watch has their work cut out for them, for as long as I can remember. All disputes, big or small, were settled by dueling. The peoples of Shaoni rarely saw eye to eye, and for better or worse, it was the simplest way to settle differences. Since most would soon and no risk their lives, though, it encouraged parties to pursue peaceful resolutions in a roundabout fashion. The Dust Watch was likely established by supporters of Kona, with her in peace being enforced through the formal rule of law. A reasonable stance, all things considered. If things ever got out of hand, the Landsguard would be forced to step in. What freedom they have now would be lost under Zoral Jar's authority. All of which is to say that, unless a lengthy stay in a jailhouse appeals to you, be mindful of how you handle your arms in town. I should like to think the stableman. The stableman has arrived with Renique by now. I'll go ahead and check. If you still want to have a look around, then be my guest. Come and find us when you've had your fill. We're going to continue. We want the story to continue. A friend, I take it? Sorry to have kept you both waiting. Wait, a friend, I take it? Sorry to have kept you both waiting. Unruly wildlife's not the only source of recent distress, I'm afraid. Also been a rise in robberies, targeting merchants. As a result, we got a lengthy list of folks waiting to use our Renique. Which is why I've had to ask you to stop at Springs. That's fine, of course. But why haven't the Dust Watch dealt with this banditry? Kamaka and his fellows are doing what they can. But they reckon the bandits are operating as a gang. Rounding them all up, easier said than done. If you have anything of value, you'll want to take care. Thank you for the warning. We'll be sure to stay vigilant. Right then, ready to set off. I'll see you on your way. Ready then? Then settle up. Your friend seems to know the way, so I won't bother giving you directions. This is your first time, so let's take it slow. Take care not to let it toss you. I continue to be struck by how much Saloni has changed. That town we just visited wasn't even here several years ago. With fewer reliable opportunities to replenish water supplies, travelers turn to nopalatias. Not just the water in their stems, mind. Their fruits are also said to be both nutritious and delicious. See that hole there? You might hope to find some water in there. The eruption of flames from within make for a spectacle, inspiring cautioning tales of people who visit whatever. The Wally, meanwhile, show great reverence to the ceruleum and its blue flames. But that's a discussion for another time. We're here. Good thing for the Ronique. No sooner did we dismount than the next passengers are already on their way. They really are short on Ronique. Now then. This is Sheshenzo, Zui Springs. Perhaps the busiest town here in Shaloni. People travel here from all over hoping to find their future. The change come to Asatoai. Was surprising enough, but this is no less impressive. They've achieved a great deal in 3 years I've been away. The station is on the eastern side of the town, but there should still be time for before the next train departs. If you don't mind, I'd like to pay a visit to an old friend of my mentor. Ayati is her name, and if she learned that I passed through without saying a word, she'd never let me hear the end of it. She set out from our village some 10 years ago, hoping to earn coin as she travelled about Thrall. I can but assume she too came here seeking greater opportunities. In any case, let us see if we can find her. Her blue hair should make her easy to spot. Ugh. Just let me lay down and die. Traveler, stop and talk to me for a while, would you? Give me something to get all the goddamn screams out of my head. Me? I'm the lucky lady who gets to call herself Sawbones around here. It's a great place to practice your craft, with all the heavy machinery and the heavy drinking. Oh, who could forget the ceruleum? If folk aren't setting themselves alight with it, they're mixing up their flasks and gulping it down, or both, when they want to get fancy. Yep, every day's a busy day in the springs. I expect you saw the ceruleum wells on the road up. A few years back, they discovered there's a sea of the stuff down under the bedrock. Tapping companies moved in and started doing what they do best. Soon enough, they struck the mother lode, and struck it rich. Labourers started flocking from all over Tyrrell. looking to get in on the action. Roughnecks, we call them. And, man, are they rough. Another day goes by when someone isn't busting someone else's nose over something or other. Usually coin. Ah well, at least it's never boring. Blue hair, blue hair. Yes, I'm Leati, and who might you be? She's my friend. Could it be? Goodness, it is. Ellenville, yes. A man grown, you're such a little thing as a child. You know, it's only been 3 years since we last spoke. Really, only 3. I suppose it all starts to get hazy after a while, living as long as we do. Well, this is Lati. She's known my mentor since they were children. Nice to meet you. Never thought I'd see the day when you travel with company. You really have grown. And then Shipya. And what now? Alright. I was born Ellen Shipya. I adopted a new name when I became a gleaner. One that adheres to Eastern Vera conventions, so as to avoid drawing attention. Given that it's a homecoming, it's only a matter of time before you found out. Nevertheless, I would appreciate it if you would continue using my chosen name. A homecoming? You know, I've been thinking of paying the old stomping grounds a visit myself. It'd be good to see Kashua again. She's the finest archer I know. Ellen Shipya's mother and mentor. Every time I drop by, she treats us to a veritable feast prepared with fresh game. She hunted herself. You're impressive with the bow too, lad. Even among shit, and I couldn't compare to Shikia, but her skill to arms pales in comparison to her knowledge of nature. That's what earned her place among the Galul Jarjar's good traveling companions after all. She was always the inquisitive sort. Lit a fire in her. Even after Ellen Shipya was born, she often left him in my care, so that she could embark on another expedition in search of the unknown. Oh, how you used to cry and beg her to take you along. It must have been hard on you. Atta, please. What? We're all friends here, aren't we? No matter how many times he asked, the answer was always the same. You can come when you prove you're a true explorer. Thus did she task me of finding the Golden City. Despite my best efforts, all paths led nowhere. I assumed it was but a dreamer's fancy, a ploy to goad me into experiencing the wider world. But it was real, and we found it. You found it? As part of the rites of succession, I assumed everyone had heard. That's amazing. Oh, she'll be thrilled. And eager to bombard me with questions, no doubt. Well, we should be on our way. Thank you so much for stopping by. Give me your best. Help! I need help! Help! I need help! What's that about? We'll investigate. Please wait here. Note that these are the infamous local bandits. Please, you have to help me. I've been robbed. It's the Mika, Wuktamat's nursemaid. Oh. Ardenville, Nima. Come any closer, we'll slit her from ear to ear. If you so much as nick her skin, you won't live to regret it. Oh yeah? Hold on. Did he say this is Wuktamat's nursemaid? Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Take the goods to the boss. We'll deal with this. Please, you have to give it back. I'm going after Namika. This lot I leave to you. Cocky bastard. I'll hang him by the ears and feed the old woman to the dogs. We could deal with them later. First, we need to put this one in the dirt. Oh, we're dead if the boss finds out. Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you. The bandit managed to get away, so I have an idea where they're headed. You said they stole something from you? A bracelet. It's a parting gift from Woklamat. I see. Close as you two were, I can only imagine how much it meant to you. But what brings you all this way? With right of succession ended, and Woklamat's crown, the next Dawn servant, she is ready to stand on her own. I told her as much, and my plans to return home to Uaslani. She gave me the bracelet that I might always remember our time together. It filled me with such joy. I wanted everyone to know, everyone to see, this wonderful gift given to me by the vow of resolve, and now it's gone. I would have let them take every coin to my name, if only they had left me that bracelet. I would ask what you intend to do, but I know that'll... Please, you mustn't put yourself in harm's way for my sake. I can assure you, no harm will come to us. Nemo will make certain of that. I understand your methods can be brutal, but it would be wise to show some restraint, lest you find yourself on the wrong side of the law. Perhaps I should come as well, to be sure all proceeds as it should. I don't know what to say. I can see why Woklamat put so much faith in both. Before anything else, let's see her back to Sheshwani Springs. She'll be safer in town, and with Laati there to keep an eye on her, we should have nothing to worry about. Thank you, both of you. Erenthil told me what happened. You needn't worry about Namika. If those banshees should find us, I'll kick up a fuss and see them driven off. That bracelet meant everything to her, and those bastards wouldn't care even if they knew. Makes me sick. But at least she's safe, and I know you'll set things right. Alright, let's go and recover the bracelet. While I have nothing but contempt for these bandits, as this involves a gift from Muklamat, we must be mindful of how our actions might reflect upon her. I doubt Namika would find joy in the return of said gift if lives were taken in the process. If it comes to violence, I ask that you stop short of killing them. The rest we can leave to Dustwatch. Well now, that makes me think you're strong. Really strong. Are you? You saved the star. That's a bold claim to make, but if true, that certainly speaks to your strength. If your curiosity has been sated, then please indulge mine. Is there anything you can tell us about these bandits? Let's see. Well, lately there's been talk about some unsavory types coming along, going from Thanatanawai to the west. Is that the old mining town that was abandoned? That's the one. Now that ceruleum extract is big business. No one wants to waste their time picking up at the dried up veins there. Sounds like the perfect place. Sounds like a perfect lair for the bandits. Not to mention that the one with the bracelet fled in that direction. So you'll be investigating the place? I can let the Dustwatch know if you like. No, not yet. It would be best if we went alone. There's something I'd like to ascertain, if you have no objections. Right then, let's be off. It seems the bandits have claimed this place for themselves. They've made no attempt to conceal their presence. How can a Dustwatch not have noticed anything by now? A question for another time. First, we must find the bracelet. I don't see the bandit who had it. Perhaps they're in one of the buildings. Ramshackle as they are, it should prove a simple thing to eavesdrop on anyone inside. If you would go and have a look about, I'll keep watch for trouble. bandits will not notice you here. You can safely eavesdrop on any inside. As you lean in to listen, you begin to pick out voices in the muffled chatter. Don't know where we'd be without him. Probably shoveling sand. Praying we'd strike a witch. Ain't that the truth? Only an idiot would work the mines with easier money to be had. Not when we've got a boss who can keep the dust rush off our backs, huh? Hey, watch what you say. The wind's got a way of carrying secrets in the wrong ears. Maybe so. But who'd ever believe one of them sainted souls was running our crew? That drunk who brought us your story about the gold shit in our packer, am I right? Aether current. Aether current. I want a... Ah. Let me out of here, you bastards. Shut your mouth, you sniveling little brat. Make me. I'll get you all back for framing my friends. The vulture, most of all. You can tell him he can eat shit. Heh. How about we give you the chance to tell him yourself? We'll show you how tough you are then. We'll see how tough you are then. I've brought back a prize you're gonna love, boss. Have a look at this bracelet. Beautiful, ain't it? But it was made by a famous artisan. You idiot! How are we supposed to move something like this without attracting attention? Boss, please, please, I'm sorry. Reckon we can find a sailor who won't ask questions. Settle for a song? Here, your reward. And don't bring this kind of grief again. I won't, boss. Thank you. Finished, are you? Let's retreat for now. So, were you able to learn anything? Their leader is a man of the Dustwatch. That would explain why these bandits have been able to do as they please. And you say they gave a bracelet to him? It seems we have our work cut out for us. Did you hear anything else of note? Sokoa? That's the boy who confronted one of the officers in town, isn't it? And you say they threatened to take him to speak with the vulture? Their leader's alias, no doubt. Fitting for a man who preys on the helpless. Well then, not only do we have a better idea of who's behind the recent rash of robberies in Hoshatari, we also know he has the bracelet. Retrieving it without bloodshed will prove difficult, though, if he's that quick to point a gun at his own underlings. You're right. If we confront him with his henchmen around, a violent outcome is all but guaranteed. I might have a plan. There's a small settlement to the southeast of here. That word. Meet me there, and I'll explain everything. If we're to receive the bracelet without conflict, it won't be done bargaining on through the front door. We'll have to lure him out. To do that, we'll avail ourselves of Yi-Hi-Hi-Chia, dragon-like creatures that live south of here. It's their breeding season, you see, and the males will flock to the scent of a female in heat. With the fruit ingredients and a sample of their feces, I can create an attractant that resembles the scent when burnt. We can then lure the Yahihichia into the bandit's hideout, flashing out the vulture and his gang. Then, while they contend with our flying friends, we can sneak in and search for the bracelet. I'm afraid I must ask you that you collect the excrement. While you see to that, I will go and procure the remaining ingredients. And before you say anything, I do not ask this because of any aversion to feces. It will simply be easier for me to find the specific species of wild plants we require. Here, take these 3 pouches, see them filled, and I will handle the rest. Finished already, are we? Excellent. This will do nicely. If that's left, all that's left is to mix the feces with the tumbleclaw fibers. Dried nopalentian root and a generous helping of amyl fat. Come, let's get back to Natenawi. Everything is ready. Time to set our plan into motion. A fair number appear to be gathered inside. Now's our chance. I will keep watch from here. The attractant I leave to you. Toss it into the bonfire near the middle of town. The Yahihirshia will come soon after. Oops. Wasn't expecting a throw target. What's that smell? What's that smell? Ugh, that reeks. What did you put in the fire? Wasn't me, I swear. Ugh. Did something die? Someone want to explain that ungodly stench to me? Boss, over there. Huh? Well, what in the world? Ah! Run for your lives! So the smoke's what drew them there. I swear, when I find out who did this... I'd say our friends have stirred up enough trouble. Time to retrieve the bracelet. Hey, what's going on out there? I'm still in here in case you forgot him. Sit tight. We'll be back for you. What? You gotta get me out of here right now. They're gonna kill me. I'm begging you, please. Shh, they'll heal you. Shit, who was that? Hey, you gonna help me out or what? The bracelet must be inside. Let's break him out and withdraw for now. All that effort, and not to show for it. Sorry about that, but damn, I didn't think anyone would have the balls to take on Vulture. No need to apologize. We were planning to save you, eventually. Really? I don't even know who you are. You secret admirers of mine or something? I'm just having fun with you. But I do appreciate the help. This man, they call the Vulture. I've seen his face before. Was he not the officer you confronted in town? The one and the same. When he's not masquerading as a gang leader, he serves as deputy chief of the Dust Watch. That would explain why the bandits are so confident they can avoid capture. You're trying to get back something the Vulture stole, right? Let me help. It's the least I could do after you bailed me out of there. I have an idea where he hid his cash. Reckon he's gonna head there now too. We could go together. I got a scar to settle with him myself. I don't doubt that you do, but we need to know what it is first. Will you tell us? Right, so those bandits at Tanatanawi, they're called Daybreakers, and it's me and my friends that founded the group. But it wasn't a gang of cutthroats, not back then. We just wanted to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. Kids being harassed by bullies. Workers being exploited by the mining concerns. Folks who needed help to even the odds. That was 3 years ago. Whenever we found someone scheming in the shadows, we settled matters the best way we knew how. With a duel. I see. By the old laws, anyone who loses in a duel must be held to account for their crimes, even those in positions of authority. And we made damn sure they did, every time. Before we knew it, our small band of friends commanded a force to be reckoned with. Then about a year ago, the Vulture and his thugs showed up. They got the better of us and took over the Daybreakers. Everyone was afraid of him, so they did his bidding without question. But when he showed them how they could make a fortune, easily, that was when he really ran them over. Now the Daybreakers is nothing but a bunch of bandits and cutthroats who prey on people it was created to protect. I talked it over with my friends, Quicana and Halloween. We all agreed the only way to stop him was to challenge him with a duel. And he accepted. I still remember how he gloated that he'd win. But when the day came, he showed up with the Dustwatch and had my friends arrested on charges of robbery. As if that wasn't enough, he set their bail at a price no one could ever hope to pay. With them locked away, there was no one left to help me. None of my old friends from the Daybreakers, and certainly not the Dustwatch. And that's why you were ready to challenge him in the middle of town. I was, until that guy with the spear stopped me. No sooner had I stepped out of town with the Vulture's minions, caught me by surprise. They took me prisoner, then, well, you know the rest. You said the Dustwatch would be of no help. Are they all working for the Vulture then? No, not all of them. The Sheriff, Chemica, he's as honest as they come. A staunch keeper of the peace. Problem is, he's a little too trusting and doesn't suspect a thing. If it were my word against the deputy chiefs, who do you think he'd believe? Well, if he knows where this vulture keeps his spoils, perhaps he can help us recover Namika's bracelet. What do you think? For what it's worth, I have a plan, but I can't do it alone. A plan? All I ask is you hear me out, but not here. I'll be waiting for you at the Sheshwazi Springs. Sheshwazi. I guess we could decide what to do after he gives us the pitch. Good, you're here. This is where he hides his loot. I expect he'll show up soon. Well, well, look who it is. Storing goods here seems risky, but I suppose it's an option for someone with his authority. Yeah, he moves the spars in cerulean barrels. No one would think to look. They're mixed in with regular shipments of fuel from Tulliol, where they're sold off. You said he stole the braces of yours, right? If he knows you're on his tail, Chances are he'll be eager to get what he can for it. But I doubt he'll trust a lackey with that business. Given the provenance of the piece, no. I'll wager he's not letting that bracelet out of his sight till he's got the coin in hand. I wasn't sure what to make of you after I had Strahi, but I'm glad to see you're more than an impulsive child. Ah, well, not my finest hour, I'll admit. But there's a lesson in that. The vulture's a slippery bastard. If we're gonna catch him, we need to back him into a corner with hard evidence. That's my plan. First, we need to lure him away from here. Over to Hashushwati. Would be ideal. For that, I need one of you to help me. This will buy time for the others to search the barrels for any stolen goods. And using that, will expose him as a criminal. There's no way to tell if Wahutwe's carrying the bracelet, but regardless, there'll be time enough to find him once he's behind bars. But do you want to simply feign innocence? Oh, he'll try. And that's when I'll challenge him to a duel. A duel? That approach didn't work out so well for your French, as I recall. True, but unlike before, I'll challenge him in front of the whole town. That way you won't be able to wriggle out of it like before. Every man, woman and child of the wilds understands the importance of duels and the old laws. The deputy chief would never disgrace himself by refusing. But wouldn't you be breaking the law by using a firearm in town? It's not as if we'd be using live rounds, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. What's important is that I get him to duel with as many witnesses as possible. When he loses, and he will lose, that'll be the end of the vulture. The plan is not without flaws, but what do you think? Not even he can ignore our traditions. Once he loses, I'll have him confess to his crimes. If you're satisfied, then so I am. I knew I could count on you. I was seen in Tuntanawi, so it's probably best I stay here and search the barrels. Then you're with me. Tell the vulture I tried to rob you, but you managed to overpower me. Even if he suspects a trap, he won't be able to resist taking the bait. You'll want to buy your friend as much time as possible, and make your way to Hasutwawi. Once you've got the vulture there, I'll take care of the rest. Alright then, let's get to it. Well, likely that Shitona's doing. What's his angle? And then there's that brat. It's past time I dealt with him. What's this? Ah, an unfamiliar face in these parts. Ahem. Have you need for the Dust Watch, miss? What? Sekwa tried to rob you, but you apprehended him? I see. So desperate was he to see his friends free from prison, he turned to a life of crime. How awful. You have my sincerest thanks, miss. Might I trouble you to take me to him? Not that this is an appropriate time to play me for your tour guides, but if you insist, Cheshinarsi Springs is home to a thriving cerulean mining industry. The prospect of easy coin has attracted some undesirables, though. Is this the place? I don't see him. Very well, lead on. There's gold in these fields. Blue gold. Ahem. Best be wary of the beasts of these parts. They may prefer to snack on ceruleum, but for you, I reckon they'd make an exception. Is this the place then? This is some sort of joke. Of all that, let's keep moving. This Bellbeat place. My patience wearing awfully thin, miss. If he isn't in the next place we stop, I may be forced to do something you and I will both dearly regret. Unless you drive I feed you one raw. Unless you drive I feed you one raw. He doesn't know. Cut the chit chat. Alright. Where is he? I don't see him anywhere. Where is Zekwa? Tell me where he is, or I'll bury you in the same grave. That's it. I've had it with these games, and I've had it with you. Hey, where what day? You looking for me? If you want to place me under arrest, you'll have to work a little harder. You'll be begging for that cell by the time I'm done with you.
Wahoote! Finally caught up to me, I see.
Well, well, if it isn't our young outlaw. You've taken up stealing, I'm told. Can't say I'm surprised about that, but I am surprised that you'd offer yourself up to be arrested.
Sorry to disappoint, but you're the one who's going to answer for their crimes today.
Hey, that's my jewelry!
And my bag! So you found the stolen goods. That's fine work.
This barrel was at Shisenuetsi Springs, mixed in with others bound for Tuliyola. The Landsguard would have presumed it part of the regular cerulean shipments and waved it through. And once it reached its destination, it would have been retrieved, and its contents sold for coin.
The audacity. Do we know who's behind this?
As fortune would have it, I spied the leader of this operation being handed one of the stolen items. A bracelet, which Vau Wuklamat had intended for her nursemaid, Namika.
It was from the Vow of Resolve?
Oh, you've seen it then?
No, no, never. And if I knew who had it, I would have arrested the scoundrel.
You would have had to arrest yourself.
What's the meaning of this, Wahoote?
It's a setup, sir. I have the bracelet, yes, but I only 'cause I found it. I swear. They're the real criminals. They concocted this scheme to frame me, so they could get me out of the picture.
If you feel your honor's at stake, there's always the old-fashioned way. The law which folks have used to settle their differences for generations.
You don't mean...
Wahoote, I challenge you to a duel. The winner is right, the loser is wrong. Doesn't get simpler than that.
Yeah, have at it! Let your pistols do the talking! Please, do you honestly believe you can goad me into playing your game?
You refuse then? A baby alpaca's got more fight than you.
All right, boy. But remember, you asked for this. Come on, Zekawa! Give him what for!
Shouldn't we stop him, Chief? Even if it's just rubber bullets, we're in the middle of town.
Be quiet. Just watch.
Oh, you little shit!
Looks like you've gotten slow in your old age, vulture.
You and I are going to have a long talk.
I apologize for dueling in the middle of town. If you want to lock me up, then lock me up. But please, let my friends go. They've done nothing wrong.
You drew your gun within town limits. But Wihute drew first. Far as I'm concerned, you acted in self-defense. You're free to go. As are your friends.
Ah, you're not such a bad guy after all.
Just a man of the wilds, like you. But to think that Wihute had taken control of the Daybreakers, it pains me that it happened right under my nose.
What are you gonna do about his crew? Some of them are still in Tonatenui.
Those who have broken the law will be taken into custody. But those who haven't will be given the chance to resume walking the straight and narrow. What about you, Zekawa? What do you intend to do now?
Why, what I've always done. Protect the weak and help the helpless. The old-fashioned way.
Here, this was Vawuk Lamont's gift for someone, wasn't it?
Yes, a person very dear to her.
I suppose this is where we go our separate ways. My thanks again for your help apprehending the vulture.
That ended up being rather more complicated than expected. It all's well that ends well. Phew. Finally, it's over. I couldn't have brought him to justice without your help. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Now that we have the bracelet, let us return to Cheshire Springs. Will you be staying there long? I'd like to give you a proper thanks after I find my friends. We weren't planning on it, but there's no need to rush. We'll see you at the springs then. My bracelet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Whoops. Truly, Diplomat is blessed to have such devoted friends. Well, I wouldn't put it quite that way. I prefer to think of us as more long-standing acquaintances. Regardless of how you chose to describe it, there's no denying the depth of your bond. Well, I'm sure you'll continue to do so. Can't say I'm surprised the Deputy Chief turned out to be the bandit's leader. I always knew something wasn't right about him. Needs to claim to me with the gift of hindsight. There you are. The real Daybreakers have arrived. I'd like you to meet my two best friends, Quick Canna and Dwayne. If it wasn't for you believing in Sequa and doing what you did, we'd still be locked up. You have no idea how satisfying it was to see the bastard where Hugh put behind bars. He never gave hope that Sequa would find a way to get us out. He always was the best of the Daybreakers. Glad he was able to convince you to go along with his plan. Unfortunately, our group is smaller now, and lacking the strength besides. Some outlaws might see us as an easy target. Even so, if anyone should give us Dustwatch a slip, the Daybreakers will be there. We'll train day and night, so no one will get the better of us ever again. Isn't that right? Right. And you'll teach us how to draw your pistols so fast, won't you? Well, we need him to duel if all goes as it should. But on the off chance it doesn't, we'd best make sure that everyone can match or beat my speed. We owe you a great debt, and one of these days, I'll be sure to repay it. On that, you have my word. Until we meet again. If you'll excuse me, I shall find a quiet place to rest, as I'll be here a while yet, though do let me know if there is a way I can be of assistance. Were you not planning to take the train home? Oh, train service has been suspended, didn't I tell you? You mentioned no such thing. Something about the tracks being damaged in the last quake. The tunnel was closed as well. An earthquake must have happened while we were still in south, still down south. There've been quite a few trams of late, and a rather large one struck not long ago before you two arrived. I can only hope no one was hurt. At any rate, if you want to know when the service will resume, just speak with the station master yourself. Let's do that. The station is just over there. Seems people aren't too happy about the train delays.
I'm so sorry, but we're not sure when the train will be running again.
You've got to be joking. Of all the places to get stuck at on the way.
Please don't tell me you've come to complain too.
We heard that the earthquake had caused disruptions and wanted to ask when operations would resume. But I see that it will be a while yet.
I'm afraid so. Too few hands for too much work. It's time-consuming enough to inspect the tracks after every quake, but this last one we got after the succession ceremony was massive. Made a mess of a whole bunch of railroad ties.
The succession ceremony? We would have been in Tuliolal at the time. If it was as violent as you say, we should have felt it as well.
I have to admit, it was a touch strange, having seen my fair share of tremors. If I had to describe it, it felt more like the rumbling from an explosion.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Seriously? You're offering to help?
What about you, my friend? If you'd rather strike out on your own, I understand.
Though, if you were willing to lend us a hand too, we'd be truly tremendously grateful. Thank you! Thank you so much! I'm Shenza, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you would please step inside, I can introduce you to everyone.
Sorry for dragging you into this.
There they are. That's them, the two volunteers. Walika is our station master, and over there is our top driver, Nitoikwe. And this grizzled mug is Zopia, an engineer who joined around the same time as me.
Much obliged for the help. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
Something the matter?
Would you happen to be a fan of trolleys?
Trolleys? They're fine, I suppose, but they're no match for our cerulean-powered engine.
She's absolutely glorious, let me tell you. If you'd like to bask in her beauty, well, you should visit the depot behind the platform.
Right then. What I'd like you two to do is help us procure timber. We'll be using it to fashion new railroad ties, so it needs to be the strongest stuff we can get. In these parts, that means the trees in the Piata-Yonan Plain. It is Hetsaro territory, though, so we need to get their permission first. Come on, no time to waste.
and also more number live in Shaloni. I must confess, I've never visited the home of Esthora. They largely live in accordance with older traditions. I suspect they may have dim view of the railroads. Come on, let's follow Walaki. There's another station on the way, so be sure to drop in. The train will be in the depot. You can still see it from the outside. I'm quite taken with the sleek design of the head end myself, though if you peek through the windows, you can probably catch a glimpse. Enough jabbering, Shentua. Thanks to these two, we finally have some real work to do, so let's get to it. Well, see you later. I suppose there's no harm in stopping by the station. It's on the way after all. I must confess, the train is an impressive sight. How easy it must be to ship goods throughout the wilds now. Right. Zone should be northeast of here. Let's continue on. Ah, there you are. The village is just up ahead. Truth be told, I've never had direct dealings with the people of Mehawetabetashon, but I do know their traditions mean a great deal to them, as does the land. Ah, such lovely clean air. It feels like a treat of the overpowering cerulean of Sheswanzi Springs. The waters nearby are just as pristine. It's a paradise for people and animals, both. I'm glad you appreciate the blessings of nature as we do. Greetings, traveller, and welcome. I am Watto, chief of Mehawasan. This is my son, Shepto. A pleasure to meet you. I thank you for the warm welcome and apologize for our sudden intrusion. I'm Walikia, station master of Zak Tarao Grading. The recent earthquake has damaged our tracks, and we require timber to make repairs. It's Nima and Erenville, who have volunteered to assist us with the restoration. You've got the most curious air about you, of oil and steel, tanned leather, and the faintest hint of blood-soaked soils of lands unknown. I gather you are not from these lands. Truly, I would love to know more of you and the lands you have seen. I am told your people hold traditions in the highest, yet I gather you are curious about the others as well? But of course, nature is boundless, as is our love of her lands and her children. The Hetzo, in particular, have done much to guide our way of life. Where to hunt, to gather, to lay our heads. The Hetzo teaches all of these things and more. It is for that reason, I believe, that we are attuned to the shifting winds around us. I see. That word, Hetzo, it means leader of souls. In the Hetzaro tongue, does it not? It does. There are many creatures revered as Hetzo among the Hetzaro. Here, we look to Ronique for guidance. However, as you may have gleaned from our use of Aetherites, while we are committed to our traditions, this does not mean we reject all outside influences. That said, there are certain things that give us pause. We will furnish you with the timber you require, but first, as neighbours in this land, we ask that you indulge us in discussion. We'd be glad to, of course. Wonderful. We do not often receive guests come such a long way, and my son is always so delighted to hear their tales. Now, if you follow me. I might have to leave it here. Do the rest later this evening. Okay, I will stop here. I'll be doing more this evening. Later. But for now, this seems like a good stopping point to reach a new area. Okay. Bye bye. 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 Bye bye.